Perfect. Thank you so much once again for joining us on radio tonight. It's exactly 8:39 here in the studio of Apex One Radio. In Minneapolis is 7:40, and of course, in Toledo, just next door, it's 8:40. Time for the sixth edition of Midwest Ball Rolling on Apex One Radio. So if you are ready, then we are ready from this end as well. But then, if you're one of those who enjoy watching us on our respective social media handles, then you may want to share their video once you get on it so that it uh, goes across the board. If you're listening to us on apex1radio.com or on the tuning app, thank you so much for doing that. Once again, thank you so much and welcome. We will be starting this show shortly. Just time for us to make sure that the video of the show, which is on Facebook and of course our YouTube channel, is shared extensively. So if you are just joining us, do well to share as well. Thank you once again. My name is Ernest, and we will be receiving yet another Minnesota based team. Uh, just last week, it was the turn of Vet Stars of Minnesota, and today we are receiving yet another veterans football club based in the state of Minnesota. All right, so let's play for time as you guys continue to share the video, and we're going to start the show proper shortly. Thank you so much, if you're just joining us. Welcome on board. Special thanks to our listeners who are based in the state of Minnesota, in the United States of America. Also, want to say good evening to all the members of the Columbus Veterans Soccer Club who are getting the stage set for May this year when 11 other teams will join them for the 2025 edition of the Midwest Ball Rolling, or the Midwest Veterans Tournament. And so, like we said, keep sharing the video if you are joining us on our respective social media platforms, including our YouTube channel. Then, for those of you who are listening to us on apex1radio.com, thank you so much for doing so. In just a second, it will be the start of this edition of Apex One's Midwest Ball Rolling, which is a series of radio shows profiling the teams which will be taking part in this edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. Right. And so it's time to start this edition of the show. And like I said, we are receiving yet another Minnesota based team. This time around, the New Boys Veterans Football Club. And three of um, the officials of that club are joining us on radio tonight, including their president, Bertrand Kum, who is live with us this evening. He's accompanied by Ken Shali Monet and, of course, Gino, who is the coach. Well, they'll introduce themselves properly when they get on board. Without much ado, let's say welcome to our guests, beginning with the president of New Boys Veterans Football Club of Minnesota, Bertrand Kum. Bertrand, welcome to the program. How are you?
Uh, I'm good. Thank you very much, Ernest Kanjo, and thank you for having us. As you mentioned, I'm here with my team, a couple of members of my team. I'm here with Ken Chalet, who is part of the team management,
Mhm,
and I'm also here with our coach, Grand Gino,
mhm.
who and also my VP will be joining us in a little bit.
Perfect.
So I'm very happy to be here. Thank you, Apex One, for the invite, and thank you very much for what you're doing. This is awesome.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, Kum Bernard. You are welcome on board. Gino, how are you? Good evening and welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Ernest. How are you today?
I am good. And you?
I'm doing just fine. We're happy to be on board. I've been following up all the shows with the different teams, and
Mm,
I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for highlighting the Midwest tournament. I'm one of the founding fathers of the Midwest Veterans Tournament as well. So
mhm,
I'm super excited that you've been doing this series.
mm,
It really highlights the teams and the importance of this tournament.
mm.
So
So tell me, after 3 editions of this tournament, you are one of the founding fathers, like you said. How do you feel about it? Progress? Are you proud that you guys created something that is very promising?
absolutely. Midwest actually was, I think, the second regional tournament that was created outside of the NVT.
Mhm,
So the first edition was out in Minnesota, and
mhm,
after the NVT in Maryland, with a few folks from Columbus, Rex, Big Rex, and Evaristus Capo, and some other folks, Dan Taba and I, and we kind of talked about having our own regional identity. So
mhm,
we started talking about Midwest, and we started with 6 teams in Minnesota, the first
mm,
edition, and we moved to about 8 teams in last year in Chicago, and now we're up to 12 teams. So there's progress.
mm.
And as with every organization, there are pains along the way, but at the same time, we want to, we're happy about where we are today, and we
Mm.
think Columbus is going to be an awesome host. With everything they're doing, I had the opportunity to be down in Columbus in early March with the
Mm.
NVT team to check out the locations and everything. And I think with kind of what's going on, I think they're ready, and it's going to be a good third edition.
The Midwest Veterans Tournament has covered a great distance despite the pains that may have come along the way. Gino is the coach of the New Boys Veterans FC. Now joining us is Ken Monet, who is not new to this platform. Ken is also not new within the veterans movement. Ken, how are you today? Welcome to the program.
I'm doing very great. Thank you, Mr. Ernest. It's quite an honor being back on air again.
I know.
And just to remind my president and my coach, I'm a resource person for Apex One Radio. I've been doing that for a while, but it's just that one or two things I've been a little bit busy and I've not really been on air. Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, it's a pleasure and quite an honor being here. And I'm more than elated that I'm gonna meet with you, Mr. Enel Kanjo.
sure.
It will be such a great meeting. Yeah. And yeah, so like you said, I'm just part of the team management, like an advisor, and also it's one of the goalies. And my soccer name is none other than Ajebe. Yeah.
Is that PWG Kumba or Kamakumba?
TW Kumban, you got it right. The
PWG
famous
Kumba.
Ajebe. Yeah.
Beautiful. His name is Ken Shali Monet, and like you said, he's one of the founding members of Apex One Radio. That's 10 years ago. So
Right.
we've covered a great distance, right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for joining us on this 6th edition of Midwest Ball Rolling. And so tonight we've got something big brewing on the pitch, and it's coming all the way from the North Star State. Call it Minnesota. Yes, you heard it. New Boys Veterans Football Club are getting up to make their mark right here in Columbus come this May. And so this Minnesota based squad isn't just traveling to Columbus for fun, they are bringing fresh tactics, fearless ambitions, and a clear mission, of course, to dethrone Chicago and claim Midwest Trans Tournament crown. They are talented, skillful, and determined, but are they ready for the challenge? Will they live up to the hype? What new soccer flair are the new boys bringing to town? Stick around as we dive into this club that is ready to hit the road for Columbus. Today we'll be speaking with the president, the coach, and of course, Ken Shali Monet, who's been around for a very long time. Once again, gentlemen, you're welcome. Let's the conversation begin. So I will begin with the president just to find out how old this team is. When was New Boys created? Veteran.
Um, New Boys was created in 2014.
Mhm,
At that time, we were just playing locally here in Minnesota. We have a Cameroonian tournament that we play every summer. It's called
mhm,
Minkam. So at that time, we're just part of that tournament. So it was a brand new team, and it's been around since 2014. But we
mhm,
decided to join the big boys and make it to the NVT. I think the first NVT that we went to was the one in Houston. So
okay.
when it comes to the MVT, we've just been three years into it. But as a club, we started since 2014.
Wow. That's interesting. 2014, 2025. That should be something like 9 years.
Yes, it is.
So, what is the status of the club? Is it registered like a non-profit, just like other veterans club?
Yes, we are registered as a non-profit organization, and we also just applied for our 501c status.
Hmm.
So we're hoping by August that would have come out. And then another thing we also do is not just soccer. We are into the community. We do a lot of community outreach. We
Hmm.
go visit orphanages and help them out. Last year we did visit one orphanage here in Minnesota called
Hmm.
Feed My Starving Children. So we plan on doing that same time this year after we are back from the NVT.
That's interesting. Ken, how large is this club? How many members do you have so far?
It's quite a very large club.
Hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, Mr. President, we should be about 58 members right now. Yeah.
We have 60 members, and as of
Oh, okay.
yesterday, we had a new member join us, so we have 61 members altogether.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we are about 61 now. So Colombo should be ready to host 61 new boys coming in with a lot of fire, a lot of joy,
Hmm.
with a lot of ambience. It's a very, very great ambience club. And there's one thing I noticed right there in your office, Mr. Ernest Kanjo, not to
Hmm.
digress a little. The ball that you have there matches our teamwork. So that shows success for us already.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. That's
Okay.
new boys. New boys.
Okay. New boys, black and white.
Well, yeah, we have our one spirit slogan. So we are
Mhm.
coming with fire, and we are not a new team to Columbus. They know and they understand us very well. So I would just say that they should be ready. We are coming, and we are coming back home with the trophy.
Columbus should be ready because the new boys are coming and they are not coming for a child's play. They're definitely coming to lift the trophy, but that depends if the 11 other clubs will let that happen. So I'll stay with you, Ken, to find out if you have wives, sisters, brothers, daughters who are supporters of the club who may also be traveling to Columbus this year.
Well, of course, we have family members, our kids, our
Mhm,
wives, definitely very powerful and great supporters.
mhm.
But owing to the fact that we don't want to leave the house too empty, we
Okay.
don't want those flies to be jumping around the house. So our wives and kids, they're going to stay back. And so we should have that good time. And more to that, sometimes when we go for great competitions like this, we try to, as much as we can, to avoid, family distraction.
Mhm,
So we want to deal with that more in a distance. And they are quite understanding about that. And most of the times they just say, go do your thing,
mhm,
go play the soccer. All we need is that you come back with a trophy. And
mhm,
what we always do every time we travel for each game is that when we come back, we do everything to organize like a cookout
mhm.
where the entire family comes, we sit down, we give them an update of what happened, and definitely just tell them how. Like right now, I've already told my wife how we are coming to Ohio, and we are coming back with the trophy, with no doubt.
Perfect. Do you know how many teams do you have within the new boys veterans movements? I know if one of your teams is not available, you should have a backup. So how many teams do you have when we have 60 potential veteran footballers?
Well, yeah, well, great question. I mean, New Boys is one team. You know, our team slogan is one spirit. So we all come in as one. But yeah, to answer your questions, I mean, our squad is a very formidable squad. You know, we are champions of Midwest. We're the first. We won the first edition.
Mm.
So we have the star, right? So that's a plus. So we are a very formidable squad. We are a very deep team from and this year we just graduated a lot of young stars to the veterans status. So it's even going to be a very dangerous sport than prior years. So in terms of strength of the squad, it just depends, right? We have a lot of our bench is pretty much deep. Let me just put it that way. We have one team, but we have a lot of members that are very active. The president is a very good player right there. Ken Shallow Ajebe right there. He's a keeper. He's an initial keeper for the last 10 years, and he's still going strong. He's when you talk about veterans, the veteran spirit, a spirit that encourages the young to keep playing. That's kind of who some of the guys look up to. He never misses training. He's always there. He's showing up every day. He's motivating folks, and he's traveling. So this team is deep. But at some point, right? We all have to pass it on to the younger folks to take on. So. We'll talk a little bit more about the team, but we have a pretty good team. So we defending champions, and we're coming down to Columbus to keep to add another star on our jersey.
What must a player have to get either on the bench or on the pitch?
Well,
Otherwise, what are the criteria for selection of players?
Well, as a veterans team, veterans club, like the president said, our main goal is not really about just soccer, right? It's all about making sure that our team members are taken care of, right? So some folks join the club for other reasons, not just soccer, but soccer is the main is what attracts a lot of folks.
Mhm.
So once you get into soccer, we play every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Summertime, wintertime, we just actually got done with our indoor league, indoor session, training session. We started that in October, and we played through April, and then we just went outdoors here a couple of weeks ago. So there's always a transition, and in terms of being a member and being part of the team, you just have to have the team spirit. You have to be fit. We want everybody to be fit. We have members that actually haven't ever kicked a soccer ball, but they come out, when we train, just to walk around, because what we preach is all about physical health, right? We want to make sure everybody's taking care of themselves, in terms of making sure they're healthy, they're staying healthy, they're doing healthy things, exercising, those type of things, right? So but the playing part, we have a set group of guys that are always playing. But in terms of who starts and who doesn't start, it's just about commitment and how much you put into the game, and kind of what we strategize, in terms of winning trophies. So we're a very open club. Folks that play well will get on the field. Folks that don't play will keep working with them.
Mm. Ken Charlie Monet, do you have any players within your ranks who played maybe for PWG of Bamenda, most of the strikers of Boya, Prisons of Boya, Elexpo of Limbe, Opopo, those teams? Looks like we cannot hear you. Let's see. Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but your
Yes,
camera went off.
your camera is
You want to
off.
come back on camera?
Okay. Can you hear
Perfect.
me now?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that we have great players. For example, we have one dangerous number 9 shaded player. I call him Mr. Pierre. He plays for the 11 strikers of the Kona Bege.
Correct.
Very, very great soccer player, dangerous scorer. Yesterday, he missed a powerful goal. He hit the post at the second shot. Ajebe was there to tell the coach that I'm still very active. Then we have able president right here, who
Mhm,
also played with the Boya University during his days in University of Boya.
mhm,
And he was already tempted to climb over to Opopo, but because of further studies and all, he had to move over to the US.
Mm.
And of course, we have our head coach here, Coach Gino, played and trained with the national team. And, he's been coaching soccer. He's a great coach here in Minnesota. He has a girls' coach team that he coached recently. Yesterday, he gave us a very good information where some young guys he has been coaching, 3 of them have just been admitted into the Minnesota Soccer Academy.
Mhm.
So we have a very, very great team. We have powerful. We have a goalkeeper who used to play with PW of Bamenda. He was an assistant goalkeeper there by then because he was a little bit too young. But
Mhm.
he's still very active and he's coming in with a lot of sprints. He did wonders last year when we were in Chicago. So people should be ready for us. And
Mm.
just to add, when you ask about new boys, how many teams are there? The coach, as smart as he is, and the way when he saw the nature of our training, because our training are extremely intense and robust.
Mm.
You don't joke, you don't play. It's like you are watching the Cameroon national soccer team training. He gives us the real training, and because of the intensity of it, the president of the club saw how active we all are, decided to split the club into two. We call it green and orange.
Okay.
Our trainings are extremely intense, and it's like you are playing. Every time you come for any green and orange training, it's like you are playing a finals before a finals. And due to the intensity of it, the president decided that for every training that we are having, there's a trophy to win. Whoever
Mm.
wins the game takes the trophy. So
Mm.
that's how intense we are. And I'm not trying to scare the other guys who are coming to meet us in Columbus. I'm just trying to tell them that they are about to play against a team that is more trained than even the Cameroon national team.
Okay. Bertrand, does the fact that some of you have played at a professional level, because I know if you've played university soccer, then it means you have almost been at the semi-professional level. And we've also heard that Gino has trained with the national team. Is this an urge? Does this explain why New Boys is a team to reckon with? And I also heard that you won the first edition of the Midwest. So tell me if this is one of the advantages you have over other teams. Yes, Bertrand.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So thank you, Ernest. So what I'll say about that is this. Um, as Ajebe just earlier mentioned, the squad and some of the experience that the players are bringing. We also have like a good training season that the coach put in place,
Mhm.
to make us ready for each competition that we go to. And we also have like our slogan says one spirit. Each time we go for a tournament or a competition, we play with that spirit. We play as one, and we make sure we put our any differences aside.
Mhm.
Whatever happens on the field, we are there united as one. So I believe that's what combines with our experience, and also the competency of the coaching staff, and also the readiness of the players. That's what makes us, we've always been victorious, and we keep being victorious because of that. And I'll also let the coach add to that if I've missed anything.
Mm. Yes, Gino.
Yeah. So no, Percy, no, you didn't miss anything. I think the squad is built the way it is. So Ernest, I'll just give you a little background. So we actually went to our first NVT in Houston. I think that was 2020, right? So this is going to be our fifth edition of the NVT coming to Columbus.
Mm.
So the first time we went to the NVT, new club, everything, we actually got knocked out in the first one. Okay. The second time we went, which was in Maryland, we actually played. We actually made it all the way to the quarterfinals. We played Columbus, and I obviously as a referee as well, I'll say the game kind of went a little bit out of hand, but Columbus
Mhm.
won. We give them that. So, and then the third edition, um, we actually went out to the eight finals. So we made progress every year, and that's my goal with my assistants and the executive team. They've given all the president and his team has given us all everything they can to make this team powerful. So we've progressed every single year. Every single year is just something new, and we keep getting better. But yeah, just to add to his point, I think the immense experience of this squad is really based on where everybody's played and somebody and what everybody brings to this team. My collegiate experience here as well, and coaching in the ranks in the Twin Cities area. And we were walking through different teams. I was, for 20 years, I was a player slash coach for Lions FC, which was kind of a Cameroonian team slash. We brought in a lot of guys that came from Cameroon. We walked them through college and everything, and so some of those guys have actually graduated now, and now they're part of the New Boys Veterans Club. So there's tons of experience with this team. So we're looking to just keep building every year, and our goal obviously is to come to Columbus to win Midwest, come back, and then win the NVT. That's our goal. That's the only one goal we have.
The goal is to come to Columbus and lift the trophy, but not end there. Move ahead to win yet another trophy come August, when over 42 teams converge on Columbus for the National Veterans Tournament. We're speaking with officials of the New Boys Football Club, Veterans Football Club of Minnesota. This ahead of the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. You're live on Apex One Radio. Thank you so much if you are just joining us. 6 minutes past 9 here in the studio of Apex One Radio, and in Minneapolis is exactly 8:06. Now, do you take part in other local competitions? Not necessarily veteran competitions, but other local football competitions.
Yeah, so we have, in the past we used to, but the guys got a little older, so we are kind of doing some evaluations to see if we can jump back on. But yeah, we do have like friendly games with some other veterans club. We have our second veterans team that we're also part of. We kind of like part of a group of veterans teams around the Twin Cities. Blaho veterans. They are mostly from Liberia. They have a lot of Liberian players that play for the Liberian national team. We are a sister club to them, so we play a lot of games with them. And then during the summertime to get us ready for the NVT and other competitions. And we also do have some games with our sister club here at Vet Star. But in terms of like an actual tournament, we used to be part of the MinCom. But now we have individual players that are playing in that MinCom, a very competitive league. I'm also one of the founding members of that league. So we do have members that are still playing in that league. We have actually Ajebe was one of the major goalkeepers there for Bali United, right? Is that
Correct?
We have a lot of our members that are playing in that tournament, which starts here in early June. So they continue to keep fit every single day, every single time. So, but as a club per se, we're not involved in there, but we have a lot of members that are still active. And I myself, I play in a men's league every Wednesday here. It's an over 40 league. Very competitive as well. It's hosted at the Blaine National Sports Center. So all these guys are busy. I mean, they come to training. These guys are playing soccer 4 days a week. So they're pretty fit, so.
It will be interesting to know these fleet-footed boys who are coming to Columbus, so that the Columbus public should be ready. And if you don't mind, I would like you guys to present your team. So, who is who in the New Boys Veterans FC? Who plays in what position?
That's a great question. While the coach is getting ready to answer that, I'll just chip in the much that I know.
All right, let's
Right
go.
now on the screen, you're watching your number one shirt, Ajebe. And that's a soccer team right there in a blue jersey. And you see the guy with the lime shirt, that's goalkeeper number one. Number Jude. Jude Kum, who is a younger man to the president. And the president plays number 7 shirt right out. You see them Malik Toure with the beard. He's another dangerous striker. And you see Jack Peda, Edris Kum, Bonnie, and what do I see there? You see my boy, Biggie, Lavin at the background, dangerous number 9 Shedders, Ambrose, and AK. Yeah, we're missing some of them. Yeah, you have Tiku, who is a very strong and powerful midfielder. He played with Victoria United. And we're not seeing Johnny Manyanga, who also played with George Weah Open, the Liberian national team. So we have Zuma. I see Bobby. I see Jovas, a defender. And I see my young man Richard sitting on the ground, who is also a very good player. So we have a very, very great squad. And what we do during we make sure that we have at least 2 or 3 players who can support this one wing. So it's a very, very dynamic and strong team, extremely united. Just like we are having this interview right now. We are so well organized. You see how we are all dressed in our teamwear. That is the ambience we need, boy. Our ambience is extremely high. We always bring lights wherever we go. And I guess when we'll be leaving Columbus, the government of Columbus or the governor might request that we come back because we're going to bring a lot of light and ambience over there. We have our mobile speakers that we always move around with. So at any
Okay.
place you see any new boys, it's ambience. And that's what we are bringing to Columbus.
They're bringing ambience to Columbus. That's the message there. So the public of Central Ohio should get set to receive this very unique and determined site that is coming to Columbus, not for child's play, but of course to entertain the crowd and back home that trophy. We're looking forward to that. How often do you train this team, Gino?
Yeah, so our training, summertime training, are Tuesdays twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we have some
Okay.
games in between those days as well. We've just last couple of years we've been doing the indoors as well. So over the winter time we got our winters are a little harsh year over year a little bit. So we have to stay indoors as well. We have great indoor facility that we play in there twice a week as well.
Mhm.
We have tons and tons of numbers of guys showing up and staying fit throughout the winter time. So we kind of year round. I mean, we end so right after the NVT, which is in September. We take a couple of weeks break and we start back in October.
Mhm.
We go indoors twice a week and we play from there through April. And then depending on the weather, we go outdoors and we start back up and and we prepare for Midwest and then we go to NVT and then same rotation. So and we just like I said, I think this is our third or fourth training session outdoors. We just had it yesterday. And we have a lot of guys that guys are working hard and pushing them to the limit. Again, like I said before, it's really about just having that winning mentality, right? Having that one spirit to always be present. And again, it's not just about winning, but it's all about making sure that they're physically able to should in case anything happens, they're good to go physically and mentally as well. It helps with that mental state.
Mhm.
They're able to get outside and have fun and enjoy the beautiful weather.
Bertrand, all these activities, trainings, friendlies, and so on entail a lot of time and other resources, right? And we are in a busy country where people do many other things. So, as president, how do you make sure that all of these happen? That people come to training, attend competitions, and so how do you manage all of that as president?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, so yeah, it's very important to note. We do have a very good and robust executive board.
Mhm.
So I have an executive made up of 11 people, and everybody has their own responsibilities. So we have like the disciplinary department, we have the coaching department, we have the team management, we have finances, and then I have a vice president. So all of this work is not just done by one person. We all work together to make sure all of these activities are accomplished. So we do a good job. We have meetings regularly and executive meetings regularly, and then we also have an executive forum where we discuss upcoming activities and who is going to do what and when. So everything is always a success. So it's not just thanks to me as the president, it's also thanks to the executive members as well. And also we have floor members that also, step up sometimes because we delegate tasks to them. So they step up and perform those tasks. So that's how we achieve all of these great things that we've mentioned. We practice twice a week, and we go to friendly tournaments that are organized here in Minnesota. And we also do outdoor activities for fun, like cookouts, and we have family days. And we also have like maybe fundraiser parties that we host from time to time. So all of that is done by the executive members and also part of the team members, not just one person.
All right, let's go back to action and look at some statistics. So, this club has been existing for 9 years. If you guys have been keeping statistics, you will definitely know maybe the number of matches you've played, the number of goals the team has scored, the number of goals you have conceded, uh, the player who has scored the highest number of goals, and so on. Do you have some of these statistics which you can share?
I think Ajebe and the coach will be the right person to answer this question. I think from my understanding, I became president just like last year. So from my understanding, we've conceived few far way more fewer goals than we've scored. So
Okay.
we've always been victorious. I would say 80% of the time. But as of the details and the facts, I'll leave it up to Ajebe and the coach.
Yes, Ken.
Yeah, that's a very, very great question. It's actually, and just a little bit of correction right here. We've been for 11 years, not
11
nine,
years.
because
Hmm,
the club itself was created 2014.
hmm.
Yeah. So and then we started going to MVT 2020. Kushi, am I right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So but to give exact figures would be a little bit difficult. But just being very try to give justice as much as I can. I would say that if you want to give a comparative analysis of how many goals we've considered and how many goals we've scored, taking it on a score of 10, then I would say that based on the number of goals, we've considered just two and we've scored 10.
Okay. That's fair. All right.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add
Okay.
some information there. Per se, one of the things that we've incorporated, this year or last year, we started at the NVT. So I was actually one of the host for the NVT as well. We work together as a veteran team. I worked with VetStar, sister club here in town to, help with the NVT when they came to Minnesota.
Hmm.
I'm also involved with the NVT at the national level as one of the operations managers. Also the operation director for Midwest Veterans Tournament as well. So, and then referee coordinator. So a lot of hats to be worn, but I've been kind of, keeping a little bit of track on who's who. But I would say in terms of Midwest, that analysis by Ken Chalet is very correct. When we won the tournament, I think we were considered 3 goals, and we actually had Johnny Mayanga, which was actually, we played for the national team, Liberian national team, along with George Weir, actually scored the most goals. And
Hmm.
actually last year, going back to the NVT, he was actually the third high goal scorer at the national level.
Hmm.
So yes, so we are always if we lose it's like 1-0, 2-1. We got knocked out by Houston at the NVT by 2-1.
Hmm.
We lost last year in Chicago to Vet Stars at the semifinals of the Midwest Veteran Summit by 1-0.
Hmm.
So we hardly concede 2 or 3 goals. In my entire time being part of this club, I've never seen we've never taken more than 2 goals in any
Hmm.
competition.
I will stay with you to find out which match you would always pick as the best so far within this years you've existed. That match which you will never ever forget.
How do I mean Midwest, or it can be in general.
General.
I mean, I'll go back to our games at the NVT, the national level, right? We were in Gwinnett, and we played in San Antonio,
Okay.
in Gwinnett, yes, and our first team goalkeeper was hurt, and Kenny came in and did a miraculous job. I mean, we're down by 2 goals to 0, and we only have about 15 minutes left in that game, and we're actually down by one. Well, let me go back. 2 games. Okay, so the game before that was the round of 32. So quarterfinals. We played Lexington, right? I think they're
Yeah.
yes, correct. And I think they're from Kentucky or something like that. And we played them real well. We went down by one or two guys, red card, and our goalkeeper was shown a red card, and that's Ken Chalet came in there and rescued that game at the last minute for us. Made tremendous saves. That game took us to penalty shots, and we were able to overcome. And then we moved to the next level and played. We played San Antonio, and they have the big star, A Young Enor is on that team. As you all know, he's very great, incredible player. We also have, Johnny Mayanga. He played with Josh Weir. He's still one of the best players the NVT's ever seen. It was a back and forth. We're down 2-0. Ajebo was in the goal post, and down 2-0 with 15 minutes to go. We found a way to come back, and we actually took that game to PKs, and we lost by PKs there. So those 2 games will always be in my mind, because of course we lost the games, but we fought so hard every time. Every time New Jersey gets in the field, it's a fight. It doesn't matter who is in the goal, who is playing defense, who is playing offense. And before we get over, I'll highlight the squad that we're going to be bringing down to Ohio. I'll go ahead and highlight the players and just give you guys a bit of background on all of those guys. I think Ajebe mentioned a few of them as well, but I'll just go ahead and just say, hey, here's our squad. We already have a squad set already that's coming down to Ohio.
And Ken, that match which you wished it never ever happened.
Ah, Mr. Ernest, just as the coach mentioned, the match we lost against, is it San Antonio?
San Antonio,
For the penalty shootout.
Hmm.
I really wish it never happened. There was an equalizer that came in from a young man. Man, that guy picked that ball. I did all I could. I flew as high as I could. But that ball went into the net as an equalizer that took us to penalty shootout.
Wow.
I cried. I regretted. I took it very personal, and I personally apologized to the team. Despite how much the coach, the president, and the entire team, they tried to encourage me that it was not my fault. I did my best and all that. But I took it very personal. And trust me, I'm coming to Midwest, and the national tournament itself with so much of blood on my eyes. So any nine-shirted player coming into my 18-meter box should be ready, because it's a do or die save.
All right.
Mother point.
So we keep doing the hyping. Let's conduct this very brief yet quick exercise. So we have 12 teams that will be taking part. I'll just call the teams. Then you tell me which ones you dread, the teams you don't want to meet, and the ones which you really want to meet, so that you will thrash. There is Mock Youth FC. I don't think you've ever played against that team, correct?
No, we've never played against them.
All right.
But just the name of the club tells us that they are already out of the competition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sinde.
Yeah, we haven't played Cindy, but yeah, we saw them down in Chicago. They had a good squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iowa.
Iowa is young veterans team. We take care of them in and out every day.
Perfect.
Not scared of them.
All right. Sister team, Vex Star.
Always good competition. We beat them, during the first edition of Midwest, and then they beat us, last year at the semifinals. So it's always neck and neck. I mean, we're sister clubs, so when we meet the Vest Stars, it's always blood, So yeah, we'll love to see them, and any day. I mean, but I don't think we dread anyone. We're just gonna do our thing.
So in Wisconsin we have Cheeseheads.
New
Yeah,
team.
well, Kenny, you want to take that one?
Yeah, that's a new team. They're just coming in. So we're going to see what they're coming up with. But we always have a strategy for any team that we meet. So easy
All right.
fight.
Windy City Vet FC. That's Illinois.
They are
When you
also
see the
new.
game,
We know that they are also, but they are a break up from the main club also, I think. So
Mm.
that though I know for sure we will see some guys there that we've played with. They are extremely very scared of new boys.
Kansas City Veterans.
well, Kansas City veterans. If I'm just going by statistics from last year, I mean they took a lot of goals. I was just going through the profiling of teams, and Kansas City, I think they took the most goals. They were the last team last year. So, but as you know, teams kind of rebuild and work on things. So, if I'm just looking at the same squad, that if they brought the same squad from last year, they should be finishing last this year again. So,
Okay. Cleveland area veterans.
that's another good squad, right, Kenny? I think we watched a
Yeah,
couple of the games. They made it to semifinals. No, I don't think that they didn't. They didn't make semifinals last year, but
yeah, yeah.
they played well.
Yes, they have a good spirit.
Columbus.
We oh another very great squad, right? I think we've played against them. Koshi?
Yes, we played against Columbus in at the NVT in Bel Air, Maryland. So we
Oh,
actually, yeah, that's when they had a great Mokake. We had a great game going back and forth between Mokake and Johnny Mayanga. And
yeah.
if it wasn't for the field, the condition of the field, I think New Boys would have been victorious, on that day.
Yeah,
The condition of the field actually saved Columbus veterans. So I know we're playing Columbus this year. We start with Columbus in Group A this year, so it's gonna be, and that's the first game of the 2025 Midwest Veterans Tournament in Columbus. So it's the home. We expect them to bring the population and everything. So we're not scared. We've played them before. We're ready to go.
Ready to go.
yeah, yeah, but
Let,
Mr. Ernest, so just
yes.
advise them that in as much as they are home, we are just coming there to take them to the dry cleaning and back.
All right. Let me hear what you guys will say about the last two. Michigan Vet FC.
Yeah, I'll say Michigan. Michigan, to me, from a football perspective, I've been watching this young team come up. The NVT ranks the last 3 years. They came out, they got knocked out in Maryland. They came to Gwinnett. They've progressed similar to New Boys. Michigan has been kind of progressing. Last year, they actually went all the way to the quarterfinals year.
Quarterfinals.
NVT. They have a very good squad, young, kind of middle young squad. Like in the upper 30s. They play very well. They play well organized. If it wasn't for injuries last year, I think Michigan might have won the competition, the Midwest Veterans Tournament. So they are good they're good. I've seen them on the field. I don't know what they're going to bring this year, but I think it's a formidable squad.
You guys will not tell me that Chicago is a pushover.
Question mark.
Okay.
Chicago, we beat them. I mean, we've beaten Chicago. Chicago is like they have an okay squad. I mean, now that I don't even know if they're going to have players, right?
And they
I mean,
are the defending champions, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they have not won it. No.
Okay.
They've not
So,
won it.
so
But we always beat them.
third edition, first edition, New Boys, second edition, Vestar. So that trophy is lived in the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
And I think it's going to continue to live in the state of Minnesota until somebody else decides to show us that they are worthy to win it. We'll keep bringing it back to Minnesota. So Chicago hasn't won it yet. I don't even think they'll even sniff the trophy for a long time. So and now that they've split, I don't even know if they have a full squad. That's a problem. So,
well, the answer to these unanswered questions will be yours come May this year when 12 teams converge on Columbus to vie for the lone trophy of the 2025 edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament. We're doing the profiling of the teams, and today we are talking with the New Boys Veterans Football Club of Minnesota. And we have the president, we have Ken Shalimoned, we have Gino, the coach. How long have you been coach of that team, Gino?
this is my 5th year. Coaching the team. So since we joined the NVT, I became the coach. So so this will be my fifth NVT, and it will be my third Midwest Veterans Tournament.
Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. Well, before we come back to find out how much preparations you've made for this year's edition of the tournament, let's go back a little bit and talk about the life of the club. Bertrand, we do understand that football these days comes with a lot of partnerships, sponsorships, and you are growing as an organization. So tell us about how you get your resources. Do you have sponsors? Do you have partners? If not, are you planning to build partnerships and sponsorships?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. So as of now, I think we only have like one partner, one company that we partner with,
Hmm,
but it's our goal to build the partnership to maybe three, four, or even five. But as when it comes to support, we've been having support from the community. So we just did our fundraiser last 2 weeks, and that was in April 12th,
mhm,
and it was a good event. The Minnesota community came out and supported us. A couple
mhm,
of people gave us money. We made some good money out of the party, and then also we have honorary members. Like who are like we call them we call them honorary members in the club, but they also belong to the club. So
mhm,
they also, put their hands deep in their pockets to support us.
mhm,
And the executive also is made up of dynamic and understanding young men. So whenever we get to like a roadblock, financial roadblock, we always throw it in the executive group,
mhm,
and people will contribute voluntarily.
mhm,
So it's just been, getting support internally from the community. And but now with our 501c coming out in August, we plan on doing like a real big outreach, go out to
mhm,
those companies in Minnesota, those also associations, and really partner with them
mhm.
to get the helps and the funding that we need.
How does this community react when you guys come back home with a trophy?
Oh, it's always they celebrate it. They're
Mm,
always happy when we come back. We made it. We always the tradition is when we come back, we do like a cookout, and we invite everybody. So when they come, it's always it's always lively. Last year, I remember when Vetstar took the NVT, it was really a big deal in Minnesota. Everybody celebrated it, and when we took the trophy, the Midwest Trophy, for the first time it was hosted, it was also very big. We celebrated at, I think people left the field around like 2 a.m.
mm,
And then we also had like fun all through the weekend. So it's
mhm,
always celebrated, yeah, in a big style.
mm. Ken, there are over 40 veterans clubs across the country. If you want to rate yours, where would you place it?
Um, Without much ado and without exaggerating, I'll put New Boys at number four.
Mm,
Koshi.
So Ernest, there's actually a national ranking. I'm also, like I said, I'm also a member of the National Veterans Operations Team. So we are the
mhm,
ones that actually work behind the scenes to make sure the NVT, moves on every year, right?
mm,
So I'm actually the national referee coordinator, and I also work on the scheduling and everything nationally. And we rank teams based on how they finished the prior year. So going into last NVT that happened in Minnesota, we were ranked fifth nationally out of 40 teams, and that was just our third year or fourth
mm.
year being in NVT.
Okay.
This year, right now, I think the new rankings are going to come up. I think we're going to be around 8 or 10 in there.
Mm,
So, we're always in between, right? It's just like the FIFA rankings. We have all the teams ranked. Having a team ranked within the first 10 is tremendous, right?
mhm,
Across 40 teams, everybody wants to be like our team, right? So we show up every day and we're ready to go. So, we've been ranked fifth. So we started in, we came in the first year we came in again, we didn't do well, but since we the last 2 years from Maryland to Minnesota, we're ranked in the top 10 nationally.
And since you are part of that committee that ranks veterans teams, let me just use this opportunity to find out this from you. How would you assess the standard of veterans soccer? I do understand that uh, most of the players are maybe former footballers and so on, but it's getting really serious with time. How would you evaluate the standard of this competition or veterans football as a whole?
Yeah, thanks for that question. That's a good question. Something that comes up every now and then. Being part of this organization for a long time and volunteering my time, doing everything. I mean, I'm a soccer junkie, right? I'm involved in everything. But to answer your question, I think the level and the standard where the National Veterans Tournament is I mean is unheard of. The standard of players, the different things we've put in place to make the tournament a big one, a success. It all comes down to the thousands of hours that volunteers put in the background, like myself and all the different folks, the match delegates and everybody, the president, our president, Valia Soccer has done a tremendous job, and even all the past presidents, they've built on the history and this trajectory is right now we are sitting at 48 teams, 48. Now 40 is going to take part in infield play. We're going to have 8 teams on the waiting list. So again, just to tell you, we are down at what we started with 8 teams, and now we are 40 teams. So the quality is only there, right? We have all these national players that are showing up. Now this tournament is really big. It's getting advertised globally, right? It's going to help us open doors to sponsorship nationally in terms of all of the folks that are coming in, traveling across the country to come. Last year in Minnesota, we had over 20,000 people that showed up. I mean, it's the statistics, the economy in Blaine. We had a meeting with the mayor and it was ridiculous. They were like, "Hey, when are you guys coming back?" Right. So we only think it's going to get better in Columbus, in Cincinnati. With Columbus veterans, I've been part of that group as well, just kind of chatting in the background with Valley, Forcha, and all the guys back there as well. So, no, where it's at right now, it's only going up. High quality. A lot of folks are out there, looking forward to the veterans tournament. Families can't wait to come. You're right. Vendors can't wait to come. Now, what we got to do, we got to have people help us out. Pass out the words and people, go to the websites and have us, utilize those to those traffic to gain, national vendors like, the airlines and different things that we want to work on. So we have a lot of big things on the back end to make this thing even bigger than what it is. I mean, maybe down the road we wouldn't be even able to host in one city just because of the sheer number of teams.
Definitely big things coming. We're talking about the veterans soccer movement that spreads across the country, and over the years, it's become really, really big. But then, in a couple of days, Columbus will be hosting its first Midwest Veterans Tournament, which organizers at the local level say it's going to be a prelude for the NVT that comes up in August of this year. So, gentlemen, let's talk about how prepared you are for Columbus. So, as we speak, Ken, if that tournament were to begin tomorrow, are you prepared? Are you ready?
It means tomorrow we are taking the clock and coming back over it.
Right. Let me find out from the coach how physically, morally, psychologically ready are your boys?
Oh yeah, thank you for that. No, we're ready. It's next man up mentality here with this club. I mean, these guys have been training throughout the winter time. Not everybody, but majority of the team has been, they played indoors. Now, transition from indoors to outdoors is a different beast in itself. But I want to say the 2 weeks that we've had outdoors and the intensity and strategies that we've been putting in place, myself and the assistant coach, starting to work on some tactics and different things, play styles. We're trying to change up our way of playing, so we can really attack and defend as a group and those type of things. I think the guys are ready. I mean, yeah, well, it's going to take, they have to have that mindset, the competition mindset, right? Right now, we're still kind of training, but once we meet an opponent, the mindset shifts. So, but yeah, I mean, Midwest is only 2 weeks away, so we're definitely we're training really hard towards that. We're starting to put a lot of strategies in place to come down and play hard.
Bertrand, logistically, tell us how prepared you are.
Like everybody has been saying, we are prepared. So again, going back to what the coach said, we started these preparations right in the winter time. So we are already prepared. When it comes to logistics, we've already outlined how we are going to Columbus. We have a set of people who will be driving, others will be flying, but everything logistically has already been put in stone, so we are ready.
You guys have sounded very positive since the start of this conversation, and it gives the impression that it's all rosy. Otherwise, any challenges, any problems?
Yeah, like everything else, there's always challenges, right? So, but we deal with the challenges as they come from, and we, like I said, I have a very good team. The way my coach has been sounding, I believe you can tell that he knows what he's doing and what he's been doing. So when we meet, we've been having challenges. Like I said, the biggest challenge is finances. So this year we decided to do a fundraiser, which was a success, and I believe we made a lot of money out of that fundraiser that will help us towards NVT, the Midwest, and also NVT. And again, when it comes to like getting the players ready, people show up late during practice sessions, or some do not show up because of work and stuff like that. But again, we have an able coach and an assistant who always make sure we reach out to those players to make sure they are okay, and also try to make them understand the importance of practice. And then with that, just the fact that the coach would reach out to somebody, it makes them to be able to show up the next time. And then we also have disciplinary sanctions that we've put in place in terms of how many times you can be absent for practice. Yeah, so if you are absent x amount of times, this is what will happen to you, and and stuff like that. So that with all our planning and everything, it makes us it makes us unique, first of all, and it also makes us ready for whatever tournament is coming up, and especially for the Midwest, I'll say we are ready.
Hmm. Ken, I will go ahead and try to find out from you. I will just randomly pick the fact that you won the Pioneer edition of the Midwest Veterans Tournament as one of your motivations to as you come to Columbus. Apart from that, what other motivation are you bringing along with?
Um, we come in with a lot of ambience as usual. Um, a one spirit club. Yeah, we won the mid first edition of the Midwest. And like the coach mentioned, we usually play with our sister team right here, Ablau.
Mhm.
We beat them on their President's Cup was it last year, coach?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year we beat them. And also, our president also has a president's club that we organize each year just within the team itself, and the green and the orange, they play that
Mhm.
competition. So we are extremely highly motivated, and we are so well organized. I mean, part of the motivation as a veteran is that after every training, you must take a bottle. So our club is organized in a way where each training we have specific individuals who have to bring drinks. So after that, we sit down, we all take a bottle and drive back home. That's what it takes to be a veteran. So and we still come back and play very good soccer. So we are quite organized, and some flying news already out of the executive board already getting into my ears is getting that the president is looking at starting a Delta Air Force One towards the Midwest, towards the national veteran.
Correct.
So that's how ready we are. And, we make sure that we stay in very nice hotels coming to Columbus. And so we are coming. We are coming with a lot of fire. We are coming with a lot of organization. We are coming with a lot of ambience. And Columbus is going to feel the new boys one spirit.
Columbus will definitely feel the new boys one spirit. They are coming with a lot of energy. So you are placed in Group A alongside Columbus veterans, Kansas City, and Mock Youth FC. So your first match will definitely be against Columbus, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
That's
Let us talk
correct.
about that first match. What's your forecast?
I mean,
3-0.
victory.
3-0 in favor of new boys.
3-0 in favor of new boys. Okay. Well, it's been noted. Before you get here on May the 22nd or 23rd, do you plan to play any friendly match?
Yeah, we are actually working on a few here next week or so. Just within some finding within our local teams here in town.
Mhm.
Just to kind of make sure that we can at least put one or two strategies in place and see if those strategies that we've been working on in practice actually works, right?
Mhm.
So yes, we are planning on doing that. So we'll probably have just one or two. Just during we'll have to invite one or two teams to join our practice session or join their practice session to play one or two games, just a short game. We don't really want to get our players injured. These guys have been working hard, so they're ready for Columbus. We don't want to get anyone injured. So, but we are ready to go.
Mm. That's interesting. They are ready to go. We are about to run off this edition of Midwest Ball Rolling, edition number 6. During which time we've been speaking with officials of New Boys Veterans FC of Minnesota. Bertrand, I do understand that this team still needs support. Uh, People are out there who can still join the club if it's not closed yet. So let me know, what appeal do you have to the Minnesota public, and even any other interested person who may want to support New Boys.
Yeah, I would say, as I've always said, we are new boys. Just from the name, we do things differently, and we are very united. As our slogan is one spirit, and we are like a brothers keepers kind of club. We support one another in situations like maybe funerals or anything they are celebrating. We show up, we have contributions based on our bylaws, and we are very organized. And I would like to just say to anyone who's watching, if you are living in Minnesota and you are interested, come join us. Our registration is a little bit a little bit pricey because of the value that we know we bring, and the you joining us, the value you will get from the club. So our registration is $500, which is paid instrumentally, and also we welcome people to pay it all at once. But make no mistake, when you pay that $500, you will not regret it. You are joining an elite veterans club. It's not just about soccer. We do a lot of live and fun events. So come join us, come party with us, and come belong, and you will feel the fun and know you are in the right place.
Ken, what would you promise the public of Columbus as you head to Ohio this May?
So
Um,
I would say to Columbus, Ohio, be prepared for new boys who are coming to take the cup, and we are not just coming to take the cup. We are coming to also bring fun to your city.
Mm.
We come with we come with the ambience, we come with the life, we come with everything. So get ready for us. but note that we are taking the cup.
Perfect. Ken, your last word? Any promise to Columbus?
Uh, well, the promise, just like the president said, we are coming to take the cup. But again, we are coming to show that camaraderie, that friendliness that we've always had.
Mm.
Whoever wins the cup, whoever loses, we still sit together. We share our bottle of drinks and we share our regular, in quotes, jackery. So we are coming to have a lot of fun, a lot of jackery, dance, party, enjoy, and just coming there, hoping that Columbus will reciprocate to the fun. And we just all have a good time and then come back and get ready to come back to Cincinnati. So, yeah.
Fair play. So, Gino, what message do you have for your colleagues? I'm talking about the coaches of the other clubs in terms of quality football. Because if the competition has quality, then every one of you benefit from it.
Yeah, so thank you for that. So two things. I'm going to jump on that question real quick here, but I just want to say to the guys in Columbus, I work with. I mean, there's Big Rex, there's Vali, there's Amin, and I mean there is Dr. Phil, Capo, Evaristus, Capo, and all those guys. I mean, they've put in tremendous hours to host two events in one year. Is a tremendous task. So I want to say kudos to those guys. I've been kind of talking to them on the background as well. It seems like they're ready to go. I mean, the facility in Cincinnati is top notch as well. That's what we want. We were down in Columbus to look at the facilities. I was there with the NVT president and NEC team. And, the party situation will be great. I've seen all the flyers coming out, over at Trio Event Center. So those guys are ready. I'm just going to encourage teams to come support these guys in Columbus, right? I mean, it takes money to put this thing together. We should go support them at least. So our team is ready to do that. Our president has told us that we will be at the event center to support them. Yeah, Ben, to answer your question, so as an organizer as well as a coach, now I'm putting on two hats, right? I'm a coach for my team, but I'm also an organizer, right? And what I'm going to tell, we have got a lot of guidelines in place to help with fair play and make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. We have a lot of volunteers that teams have provided in match delegates. We have guys that are going to be coming in as referees and those type of things. So it's going to take everyone to be part of this whole thing. So I just telling coaches to please abide by the laws of the game. We're just here to have fun, and everybody's coming here to win, and we want to make sure everybody leaves Columbus, in one spirit, and it's gonna be a fun event. But I want to say thank you to the guys in Columbus. Thanks to my able president, the executive team for giving us everything we need to come down and win this, and then Ernest, I want to thank you as well for the opportunity.
Perfect. Just before we run off, Bertrand, if someone is interested in contacting New Boys Veterans FC, how can they reach you?
So yeah, you can reach me on WhatsApp or direct phone call. My phone number is 301-281-5316. And you can also reach out to Gino as well as Grand Ken Shalomone. So, but yeah, you can get me on WhatsApp or direct. If you can call me or text me directly on my number, you'll get to me. I'm not a difficult person to get to.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Bertrand, for joining us on the show. We wish you all the best.
Thank you too for having us.
Ken, thank you so much. It was a wonderful pleasure having you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. And just to add, you've been doing a very tremendous job. And since we are coming live to Columbus, Ohio this time, it means we are having Apex One Radio live. So we just have continue to encourage every single person around the world to support and push Apex One Radio. You've been doing a tremendous job working with everybody on all walks of field. And just to add, in honor of all our patrons, and most especially one of our greatest patrons and supporter, Mr. Sheikh Rabio, who is down health-wise, that we did this also in his honor, and we are calling on everybody following this right now to pray for a good health for him. Thank you.
Quick recovery to him. Gino, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Well, thank you so much. We can be more than happy to be on the show tonight. Thank you for everything you're doing, highlighting this competition in its third year. Like Ken Chalet said, we will do our best to keep on supporting, Apex One Radio as well. It's a great platform, the grassroots platform to actually express ourselves, freely. And thanks for keeping the light on. And I want to also say, all these different series that you've done, they are archived, and folks can go back and watch them as well, and have fun with them. I've gone back and sat down and watched some of these, instead of watching Netflix. So, thank you so much for having us on this platform.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Do have a fantastic rest of the day as we await the coming to Columbus. Good luck and have a good night. And to all of you out there, thank you so much. This show came to you from Apex One Radio with collaboration from Evaristus Finjap, aka Capo. We also want to say thank you so much, Forcha Valentine, Dr. Phil, Rex Bogen. We want to say thank you, Armand Kenyan, and all the folks of Columbus veterans. Marcel Adig produced this show from Valsuch in Germany. And for presentation, I've been your friend, Ernest Kanjo. I'll be with you again Friday and, of course, Saturday for yet other editions of Midwest Ball Rolling. Until we meet, it is bye from this end. May God bless you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.